Okay, so this is the high and low speed compression damping adjustment video for the rear suspension on the KTM 1190 Adventure R. We've just done a video on the front, the compression, the rebound and the preload. So if you need to go and watch that video either before or after this one, doesn't make any difference. They're not interlinked or anything, so just do them independently. I've got a video on that as well. I'll put a link somewhere, either a little thing that flashes up or in the description, whatever. So I have done this once before. I did it yesterday. I set the high speed and low speed compression and preload to the comfort setting. I've had my bike now for a couple of years and I've never really played with the suspension. I knew that it was soft. I've always felt that it was soft, I should say, especially the dive on the front. So what I did was, I thought, do you know what? I don't really know what my suspension's dialed into. I'm going to find out. So in your toolkit, you'll see this, the 24mm finger spinner. It doesn't fit anything else that I've seen. It only fits these suspension parts. So if you watch the front video, you'll find that. You don't need this for the rear. In fact, if you're using a 24mm socket for the rear, you're doing something seriously wrong, because it specifically says in the manual to not turn, they call it point number 2, which is this outside part. This 24mm fits onto it if you get it at the right angle, but it's just easier. Anyway, if you do this with a 24mm, you'll end up undoing the canister from the shock, which is not what we're aiming to do here. So what you do need is a 17mm and a flathead. That's all you need. So to adjust the low speed compression damping of the shock absorber, we will, as follows. Information, it says, the low speed setting takes effect during the slow to normal compression of the shock absorber. So slow to normal compression speeds that way, was that laterally, of the bike, and therefore the suspension, and therefore the shock absorber. It's got nothing to do with speed that way and how fast the bike's going. It's how fast the shock is compressed. So I'll say that again. The low speed setting takes effect during the slow to normal compression of the shock absorber. So the first thing we're going to do is a little diagram here. We're going to turn number 1, which I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but number 1, they're talking about the Phillips piece. We're going to turn that clockwise with a screwdriver to the last perceptible click, it says. So just read that again. Take your screwdriver, flathead, turn the adjusting screw, number 1, in there, all the way clockwise with a screwdriver to the last perceptible click. So it doesn't make as loud a click as the ones on the front. It kind of doesn't really click at all. It just moves through stages. You might be able to hear it. So I had it set to comfort. So what I'm going to do now is set it to sport, just to see the difference, really. Okay, so do not loosen fitting number 2, it says, which is this black outer part. So there's two sets, there's 2 things you could use sockets on. There's this inner one, the silver one, which is a 17mm, and then there's this outer one, which is the black one. You shouldn't be turning that one, it's saying, basically. It warns you of that plenty of times doing this job, so you shouldn't be doing that. So with that turned all the way clockwise, now what we're going to do is turn it anti-clockwise or counterclockwise by the number of clicks corresponding to the shock absorber guidelines. Compression damping low speed, comfort 15 clicks, standard 10 clicks, sport and full payload are the same at 8 clicks. So I'm going to go 8 clicks to put it into sport. I wonder what it's in now if it's all the way closed. Unbearably harsh, probably. So I'm going to go 8 clicks to sport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Set. That's it. That's all you got to do. So that's the low speed compression damping. Now to adjust the high speed compression damping of the shock absorber, it's the same sort of thing. A bit of info. High speed setting takes effect during the fast compression of the shock absorber. So you're going over loads of little bumps, loads of little jumps, and the bike's sort of gyrating, or you're bouncing on it as well. Think motocross, you know, huge fast movements, the compressions. So turn the adjusting screw 1, which is this silver part now in the new diagram, all the way clockwise with a socket wrench. Do not loosen fitting number 2, it says. So I had it in comfort, so we're going to turn it all the way clockwise, did it say? Turn the adjusting screw all the way clockwise. So all the way clockwise, let's go. And that's it. Okay, not a lot because it's only a small number of turns, this one. So turn counterclockwise now by the number of turns corresponding to the shock absorber guidelines. Comfort, 1.5 turns. Standard, also 1.5 turns. Sport and full payload are the same at 1 turn. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to come back to here, and that is 1 full turn. Done. That's it. Right, adjusting the rebound damping, which is this sticky out part here. Shock absorber is filled with high density nitrogen. Adhere to the script description provided. Turn adjusting screw 1 clockwise up to the last perceptible click. This is going to take ages because I think it's, yeah, so it's 15 clicks the other way. When you've done this, you'll hear it. It sounds like you're cracking your knuckles. Rebound damping. So what we're going to do is, when we've gone all the way, we're going to turn counterclockwise by this number of clicks. Comfort is 15, standard is 10, and sport is 8. Now I've ridden this bike before with the preload turned all the way up, and it was quite a lot taller, to be honest, which I actually really liked because I'm 6'1", something like that. And I actually really liked the bike being really, really tall. But my mate, who's got a Super Duke, bless him, he's only about 5'8", 5'7", I don't know, he's quite short. There's no chance in hell he'd be able to put both feet flat. I can put my toes comfortably down, but not even flat-footed, to be honest. Right, finally we're there. So we've been turning that whole time. So that's now, you won't really be able to see it, but you'll be able to feel it. If I put the bike down off its center stand, it will be a lot taller. And as I say, I really like that. But I'm putting everything into sport. So what are we doing now? Where am I? Preload. Right. Just in the spring preload. Hang on. No, I might have done that wrong. Oh no, sorry. That's 8 turns. Right. So I did this yesterday. Adjusting the rebound damping of the shock absorber. Obviously this isn't the rebound damp, this is the preload. You can't really see. It's going to be really hard to show you guys. But at the base of the shock, just in there, if you follow my finger, just in there, at the base of the shock, and you can see it, is the rebound damping. But when I tried to get to it yesterday, I could not get it to turn at all. I just couldn't get any leverage on it, any sort of angle. I can just about get it to turn, but it really will only do 2 or 3 turns. So couldn't really do that one. But anyway, so yeah, I did actually miss that part out, but I can't really get to it, so I can't really tell you about it. Or I can't really tell you how to do it and show you how to do it, because I can't do it. I just can't get in there. Adjusting the spring preload of the shock absorber. So, comfort, turn the hand wheel counterclockwise as far as it will go. Oh, do you know what I've done? I've done that wrong. Right, I'm going to chop this video up and do it again.